Welcome back, everyone, to Pandemonium. We are on season 4, session 8, as the Gavels of Avasara have recently done quite a bit. They're working on resettling their new city of Vesuvia on the island of Kata. They had pirated the reaved the Reavers as they took a large shipment of gold, jewels, and other riches from Grove City. As the Gavels later learned, they were looking to trade with the Hell Prince Venick, Lord Commander of the Hell Knights, trading the riches of the Grove City for infernal dragon turtles. And amidst that pile of wealth was Tomono Abe, Wisteria's father, who was also part of that deal. The Gavels were able to somewhat reluctantly liberate him, start limping their way back to Asuvia after the battle with the Reaver ship, where a bit of chaos happened on board. After conversing with Tomino, a number of the Gavels started to hate the man, with Crash even pulling a gun and shooting, kneecapping him, non-lethally, fortunately, as the journey progressed home with a key feature, a key discussion item being amongst the Gavels, what are we going to do with him once we arrive? With that, and after some interactions with the other Gavels of Avasara, the group eventually made their way to Asuvia, meeting with the Baron and his small council as they talked through recent developments. One of the key pieces being that with the kind of the combined forces that helped the Gavels and Kata retake their land from the Giants, with many of them returning back to their homes. Kata is at a distinct lack of kind of elite forces. They've got grunts and soldiers, but not as many kind of special forces and those who can kind of deal with higher powered threats. So the Baron has begun brainstorming ways to go through that, and the Gavels provided some suggestions. With Will giving them the idea to reach out to some of their allies within the Stormfist, Ascenta, and the Academy of Heka to hopefully try to train some troops on the low that show potential and get them in position. To hopefully help finance that, the Baron had an idea of sending someone to negotiate a war reparation surrender from the city of Aquarius, who the Adamantium Renegades spent the last month burning ships for to send the message. The Gavels considered this for a moment, but ultimately passed, and then returned back to their city of Vesuvia, where they started their rebuilding efforts. And that's where we're going to pick up first. We are going to pick up as you guys reach to your city, and you all talked kind of amongst yourselves and kind of came up with 5 different features you're either kind of build over this month to utilizing your kind of vast sums of gold that you've liberated from the Reavers, or at least start building with some of the bigger pieces. So there's 5 items that the crew picked out. I'll have kind of the crew go through and feel free to put any flavor that you guys or discuss the flavor that you all would want for these new features that will be going into your city. So Suvia is kind of your own baby on this one. Your own, you can fly the flavor, the style that you guys would appreciate for the city. So I'll turn it over to you all. See how you spend that second month's worth of efforts to kind of craft and bring something new to the city, even though it's currently right now just filled with the Gavels, their soldiers, but as well as the contractors you all hired to help build. Who wants to go first?
So Wisteria would probably take up the lead on the hospital that we want to build. I think she probably put a lot of practical decisions ahead of any stylistic ones, making sure there's separate wards to limit the spread of disease while that's being treated there. Extensive methods of record keeping and places to store that kind of stuff. And hospitals. She would probably want the hospital to be located nearest the port, so that people come in from overseas in need of treatment or sailors injured out on the sea can quickly get treated when they return. But and then the building itself would be titled Agnazit Memorial Hospital. I think there's sort of like a top floor sort of office space with some like wide windows, and from there you can see the eternal flame. So that Jeet's always kind of looking over the people that are being healed here. And there's plenty of shrines and carvings and like artwork in reference to Notisha all around. Maybe some of her famous sayings are written on motivational posters in each of the rooms. But there's also like in the kind of the main thoroughfare, there's a statue of Notisha holding a handful of books as well as a stethoscope. And I don't think Wisteria would put anything about herself up around here, but it's kind of apparent in the way everything is organized and the decisions that are made that it's her handiwork.
Nice. Any of the other gavels have anything they would add on to it?
To the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny. Will has always had the sort of healing magic and has never really put any serious effort into like actually studying medicine. So I think he would find it all so fascinating, and so probably would just be hanging around for a bit of it. But I don't think he would contribute a whole lot.
Fresh would donate some of his formulas for the hospital, primarily Life Shot, but also he's got some formulas for various health potions and whatnot, and he'd give what knowledge he could of some of the more elemental things that perhaps could end up saving someone's life, such as the use of ice elemented items to cool off some burns, or using acid elemented items to eat away rotted flesh. Kind of like how, a little fun fact, we still have use for medical maggots to eat away rotting flesh in a controlled setting. Kind of like that, but without the bugs.
Nice.
Callista Varia settles up to Ostin, and she looks at the statue and the name, the name, the Agniji Memorial Hospital, and she says, "Wait, did he heal? I thought his whole thing was fire."
Oh, of course. He healed. He wrestled. He did cast fire. He had a dragon. He did a bit of everything. A real Renaissance man.
Okay.
Have they told you the story about him wrestling a dragon turtle?
That one I did hear about. I thought that was lowers her voice. Propaganda.
Well, Marson did exaggerate a few pieces for the commercial side of it, but no, he rescued a dragon turtle, rescued a rock in the sky. Apparently, read Wisteria's notes; it's all the clean version. Marson gets a little bit eccentric with it.
Well, it sounds like he was more than what the legends made him out to be, or at least what I've heard. I may actually read up on this guy. Now he's becoming interesting. I thought all he did was spread fire and, I don't know, hope and stuff, and he must have been good looking because everyone liked him.
There is a statue,
wrestling,
I think.
And yeah, she looks at that like too much fleshlight right here and here. Not for my taste.
Skills
But
and spots.
yeah.
I'll get you the notes.
All right. She may come to respect him after all. She doesn't yet.
Perfect. So as you all kind of go through, the hospital is definitely something you all can kind of completely build within a month and get that set up and ready once you have people or other people within the island or within your nation of Vesuvia. What other things do you all build?
Callista Varia is going to order the building and coordinate the building of this courthouse. Initially, she just thinks about it as a place to dispense justice because that's what the gavels are known for, and she will make sure we get a gavel made from the finest wood. But as the more the team discusses the question of Tomino, the more she realizes that this is not easy, like the dispensing of justice. She's never had to think about it from that perspective. So she starts like changing up the architecture and the blueprints and building more additional structures off to the side, and eventually what it will end up becoming as it grows is this the structure that, I mean, if you look from above, which no one does, it kind of looks like a flower shape where all of these wings of the building have grown out, and it will function as a place for legal scholars to study the best way to deliver justice, and then of course argue about the meaning of justice, that which is inevitable. So it kind of, in the long term, I'm hoping that it'll become one of the different themes that our city does in education. This is like general education, health education, and then maybe also some judicial scholarship.
Nice. Does anybody else have anything to add on to the kind of the courtroom?
More so an observation. The flavor of kata is more so Greek, right?
Yeah, definitely. Kata and kind of Fessia has like a real kind of Greek mixed with Australia style feel.
So we really are bringing over the philosophers and proper scholars. Oh, it's on brand. You'll love to see it. That's my thing. Wisteria, it looked like you had something to bring up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back digging through Wisteria goes back digging through her notes and finds the first draft that she wrote of our complex voting system and gets some like chemicals to like treat the paper to preserve it, and then puts it in like a glass case to just put on display and foster the discussion and debate and confusion.
The birthplace of confusing democracy.
You see Beshta just looking at it, still scratching his head. Abject confusion. Perfect. Well, you guys are able to get that. And while not everybody can fly, I mean, a lot of the gavels have different ways to fly. So you all would definitely be able to kind of see that flower-like construction. And I imagine this somebody, are any of the gavels, I don't think this is a skill, but any of you guys think your characters would be skilled in like drawing or painting?
Will used to have the scribing skill or scribing lore from his background. He has since retrained it to be something else. But he was originally the one who did some of the art for like when we were doing the trading cards and stuff, I believe.
I mean, that would fit with the religious background on that side. I mean, I know one of the big things is kind of like going through and drawing, kind of adding scenes to certain kind of religious works. So
definitely copied some illuminated manuscripts in his younger days.
Would he be one to draw a kind of an area, and he could fly too, an aerial view of the courtroom, kind of showing the flower-like appendage?
That does sound cool. If he can, and since he can do that, he would know what it would look like.
Because the structure, the shape of it comes about organically. She's not planning on making it. It just happens. Just the way that her nature side ends up pushing for things to grow. That's how it ends up happening. So if Will does that, would you like the honor of naming the structure? Because I didn't think of a name for it.
Oh, for the courthouse? Oh man.
Judicious flower or plant. Like,
I think
Yeah,
of some kind of pun of like planting a seed in your mind of thought thinking or something, but I got nothing.
maybe we can come up with this by the end of next session. Yeah. Or start of
My brain just goes to like how invasive mint plants are for some reason, and just like the mint.
I just keep thinking elderflower. I mean, that's like in my head. That's judicious, but it's not the right thing. It's not. Yeah, we'll definitely kind of throughout this session and next session see what ideas we can have for that. Before we move forward, does anybody else have anything to add for the courtroom? All right, what's next?
We got the shipyard, and I feel as though that's something Crash would be tackling. The more industrial side of things, the crafts of new vehicles to go and wade the waters. And him being a docile individual amongst Phasia, bringing in probably the best of both worlds. Both a bit of good utility while keeping things quite beautiful, much like the balancing act itself. We're keeping it balanced. He would be trying his best to still keep things renewable, as to not over encroach on the Asufian forest. My brain kind of goes to us importing something or like getting Hira's blessing for bamboo for some reason. The idea of like reusing bamboo and whatnot to help build the ships. IRL, I don't know how good that would be for actual ships, but something along those lines. And as he gets that shipyard ship shape and built all together, he would. Oh, go ahead.
And the shipyard is one of the ones you like. Will probably take 2 months to fully build, but definitely one you can kind of get it going.
Heck yeah! So getting most of it accrued together. He would definitely put a little mark of his own of his own company on there, just like in association with the gavels. Kind of rebranding it with a new symbol of a owl bear holding a gavel.
Solid. And does Emil have anything to add for kind of the first phase of building the shipyard?
Remember I mentioned that I retrained my lore skill. I retrained it to sailing lore. So, oh wait, no. Actually, that one is never mind. So, I think Will is probably a little involved in this one, just like helping with logistics and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff is just like shaking hands with people, getting people involved, getting people to come and be involved with this stuff, and that involves talking to people a lot. So I think Will is probably a lot involved in setting this up a lot, at least as far as the sort of finance and logistics side of things, not the physical building of things. He's probably not that great at that.
Yeah, it's kind of securing contractors and kind of like figuring out who to do what work type stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and attracting like people to help like sponsor it, and like we also need to attract workers, and that involves like getting the word out that we're rebuilding and all that stuff.
Nice. So you're definitely going to find contractors. Probably not many sponsors on that side, but you guys have a lot of wealth at the moment after your Reaver escapades.
Wisteria would make a point to ensure that the docks are structured and the shipyard where they can help repair and dock ships from any nation, whether they're Mokulin built ships or Doshin built ships or anything in between. There's the appropriate rigging and spacing and depth to the water so that we can take care of anything. Even maybe one spot where if for whatever reason a infernal dragon turtle decided to swim up and is given access to disembark its travelers, there's a spot where that's a possibility, just in case we ever need it.
Definitely, probably like on the far end, because like the Inferno Dragon like are village size. It's a lot of space, but probably near like the edge. Yeah.
You can, when that occurs and the space for the dragon turtle is set out, you can definitely see the gears in Crash's head turning, as if for the first time actually considering maybe we could trade that guy for a dragon turtle.
I love how that is not a metaphor for Crash. Like, you can probably actually see the gears in his head turn.
All right. Well, as the work on the docks of the industrial shipyard begins, we got 2 left. So if we say the headquarters for last, but who wants to take the barracks and keep that you guys wanted to build? Anybody on that one?
Excuse me, sorry. So what's left? The other one is the
barracks and keep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was combining that with the headquarters in my brain. But I mean, yeah, we are primarily a military / mercenary organization, and so we need a place to put all those dang people, right? I think we certainly have the funding, but I think we don't have the sort of time yet to make it very fancy. There's a lot going on. We're rebuilding like a whole city basically from almost nothing. I think it probably has the signature gavel colors, which I think we've established as like red and silver for the most part. So it certainly has that color scheme, but I think for the most part, that's got to be relatively, what's the word? Austere, perhaps, might be a good word for it. It's not going to be like a shining beacon of a power and strength yet. Because right now we want to get it functioning, and especially because we think there might be some raiders who want us dead. So we need to get it up quickly and running.
Perfect. You definitely the barracks. Well, it depends if you guys go simple for the barracks. Yeah, that could definitely be something you guys. If you keep it pretty austere, should be able to finish in this month. Kind of getting a spot to help train your men, store your troops, and all of that. Is there anything else people want to add on for flavor for that?
I actually would like to add the flavor of Crash giving a lot of his personal, mass-produced collection of guns he's made himself to the barracks, just to kind of prep them and to help solidify, Phasia, Kata right now, they're moving along in technology. We're embracing that. So crossbows, guns, and the like.
Nice.
Yeah, and definitely for the more defensive keep part of it. That's not just where soldiers are sleeping, but the part set up for defense. We can have some gun and or crossbow emplacements where people can run up and fire off from those kind of spots if there's ever a attack on the city.
Goodness me, having a proper cannon set up there. Hell yeah.
I'll and at one spot I'll mount up that barricade buster you provided me because it's much easier to operate from an emplacement than carrying it around with my 10 strength.
That's actually true. Bipods and tripods do decrease the strength requirement. Hell yeah. Also, they are raising, so they do more damage to structures. If that would be applicable to ships and whatnot.
That ships do count as the structures, I believe.
Heck yeah.
All right. So the last piece, either your castle, your headquarters, kind of the Gavel's new mark upon the land. As you guys can kind of begin construction on that. How do you all imagine that'll look?
One thing that I've been thinking is it should be close to the sea. Because to be able to sort of respond to any sea threats, and also just like this is like a very ocean focused city and community. I think in general it's going to be so. Like I think a lot of the most important stuff is going to be close to the water for the most part. I want to be able to point a cannon from the top of this thing and hit a ship.
I want to point out
high ground. Sorry, just high ground. I think I agree with high ground.
Go for it, Bird.
What'd you say?
Oh, you were about to say something?
Yes. I kind of imagine it like for the castle, something that is, yes, right next to the water, but also partially swallowed by the Asuvia forest. Having that being a natural growth and part of the castle itself. A large bit of foliage that maybe is well kept as a garden, or perhaps a let-grown wild, birds being poached upon the highest peaks, and various varmints and things like things kind of like rabbits come to mind, just hopping about nearby.
You're too far from this, like the Vesuvian forests themselves, to be kind of like a part of it, but you could definitely be part of the trail that Callistovaria made to the Vesuvian forest.
That works as well.
Nothing stopping us from planting a few trees around it, having sort of a courtyard that is maybe a little bit more on the wild side.
Heck yeah.
Okay, but what about defense? Callistovaria is going to come in and be like, we need good defense. I propose a hedge maze on one side with some really wild animals let loose inside, and they can ones that can thrive, maybe ones that can go through the hedges themselves and make their way there. And then I propose that we lay simple traps here and here, and a complex hazard right along, like this particular part of the hedge maze, in case we have attack coming in from the forest side or ships that land on that side. What about the rest? Like, well, how do we defend? This is our defensive structure. It's not just a place where we express our style.
In real life, castles are built to be maze-like so that armies charging through them can't take a simple, easy path to get through. They got to do a lot of twists and turns and weird positions, and they're exposed in a lot of areas on purpose. I explored a Japanese castle not that long ago, and yeah, it's like, yeah, charging through this place as an army would be a miserable experience. So I'm not sure how much you're joking, but in real life, yeah, they do that. Maybe not a hedge maze specifically, but
With killer bees.
Yeah. Oh, killer bees. Oh, the perfect defense. Yes. So our people will know.
You're the kind of person that can just ask the bees to help us out.
Well, I think, yeah, we'll turn to Noticia's follower for that one.
Yeah. No, Goddess who might be able to hook us up with some killer bees.
Oster will ask the question, goes, but won't some people be coming just to see you lot with monsters and traps? How will they get through?
Well, that's why that is just a defense on the northern side. That's my task will be protecting that flank, and we can have a narrow pathway on through the water or from the east that is clear but defensible. Come on, I cannot be the only one thinking about the defense. We lowers her voice again. We've just angered the Reavers. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Wisteria will set about planning out and mapping and strategizing to create secret passageways all throughout the castle, and ensure that that information is kept only to the Gavel leadership. And we kind of have ways to get anywhere within the castle that we want to without anyone else knowing how. Lots of like hidden doors and bookcase doors and all sorts of stuff like that. And I think probably like Wisteria's room would be only accessible via the secret passages.
And we kill everyone who helped build it, so nobody knows.
Any extra flavor you guys have is you start the construction of your signature headquarters, and I'll kind of recap what you all have said so far. We'll have to go to the front. I'm not sure we agreed on the front side, but on the back side we've got a maze that Callista Varya has utilized kind of her primal magic to begin growing and then throwing, enticing some. Because you are enticing creatures to come into it, right? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bringing some creatures on that side to help demand the defense for it, and then kind of utilizing that to help make it a little easier to defend from the northern flank. The castle is going to have some height to it. In the interior, you're going to have it kind of be twists and turns to make it hard for any invading force to kind of easily navigate themselves through with hidden passageways within. What's it because this is definitely one that'll take kind of the rebuilding period to finish. But what's the look you guys are aiming for it to have?
Very briefly before we get to that, it's gotta suck to be a red shirt going through all this. To get to one of the main leaders, just gotta go through a labyrinthian secret maze pathway just to be like, Lady Wisteria, I brought you your coffee.
Castles be like, you a lot of the time just only go in there when you're being invaded, and then you'll just like, all right, everyone in town, come to hide out here while we close the moat or before we pull up the what do you call it, the drawbridge. But yeah, it does suck to get around to these things. I'm imagining kind of like one of those like Irish castles on like built on a cliff. You know what I mean? Because we wanted to be close to the shore. You were talking about high ground, defensible, and red roof, just cause.
Okay.
Wherever it's not entirely built of stone.
Do we want to put a lighthouse on the top of this thing?
I think we already have a lighthouse elsewhere in the city, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we got a red roof, defensible on a cliff. Anything else you want to add to it before we move on?
I want it to look imposing from the sea specifically. But that's, I don't know exactly what that means. I'm going to start Googling cliffside castles.
Well, you all have had the Eternal Flame in kind of the center of your empty city so far. Do you all want to move the Eternal Flame to a tower within your, or on the top of your new castle?
Interesting. Do we want it moved from like where it was, like close to the center of the city? I don't know.
Well, one thing we talked about was having it in a spot where everybody would like pass it on their day to day.
Yeah, don't put it behind the hedge maze. Just, keep it accessible.
All right. Well, anything else you all think, or do you? And this is definitely one because it'll take kind of the rebuilding period to finalize. So month 3, we could definitely go into some more flavor for this. But is there any last bits of flavor you all want to add before we move in?
Maybe like hire a sculptor, provide Wisteria's notes of the Gavel's adventures so far, and just kind of let him go wild on creating, gargoyles and other sculptures like that are representative of different things that we've accomplished. Some that represent like the dragon that we slew, and some that represents like the kaiju and our defeat of that, some that represent our friendship with the Baron, and all sorts of things like that, but not give him too much direct guidance. It's like, put your artistic spin on it.
Do you want to do like tapestries or frescoes of any of those?
All right, good.
Yeah.
It's important to note this is also just like a regular town. Like we got normal stuff in there too. They got taverns, they got inns, they got fisheries. There's probably a cooper somewhere.
Well, not yet.
I learned what a cooper is recently, and I've been using the word constantly.
Oh man, when I first heard about it, I was like, wait, they need a person to do just that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I guess it was very, very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a guy who make barrels. For all of you who don't know, I shouldn't leave that unsaid.
We love barrel makers. That is some hard work right there, especially the maintenance on them.
Cobblers, normal jobs to exist. Also, it's not just stuff we're talking about.
I'll tell you, right now it's just the gavels, so I imagine it is probably like a little weird. But like not as you guys go through and build your defensible positions, your industry. Because the next big thing is attracting people, kind of earning enough fame and claim that people will go to a city that was razed to the ground, run by people that have both extraordinary deeds and some questionable deeds. But before we figure out how you guys are going to start earning fame to bring the people into your city, there's been, as you all go about kind of your great deeds, start rebuilding different efforts, there has been a nagging voice that anytime that you take a rest aboard the balancing act, or even just get too close to the balancing act, you hear this voice call out, "What are you doing? I have been held for no charge for nearly 30 days. This is outrageous. I'm an abe." And you hear this. And sometimes it's outraged. Other times it's cajoling, where he goes, oh come. Just sit with me for a moment. We can talk. How is the world outside? And you kind of, it definitely varies by the mood he is in and the tactic he is taking. But Tomino Abe has not been quiet during his processing imprisonment. And he will comment on that. It's like, what are you? You are the lords here. What are you processing? That'll be one of his refrains on that side. So the question comes up: what do you all do with Tomino Abe?
I think most of the votes was to imprison him, but once more, both I, as a player, and possibly Crash, because sending this dude to hell would be really funny, would possibly be up to trade this guy for a Dragon Turtle leg.
Well, honestly, the votes were, depending on how you look at it, the votes were split. Chris, not Wisteria as the tiebreaker, voted to imprison, but do you all have any other thoughts on that?
Let me
Yeah.
be the one to deliver the news. I feel like he'll be more likely to be quiet if he has someone like Will just come in and like, listen, I'm not happy about this either, but quite frankly, you've given very few reasons to be trusted and a lot of reasons to be mistrusted. And there are those in the Gabble who are concerned that if we release you, you might do us harm.
I have no reason to do you harm. You're with my daughter. No matter what you all or she may think, she's my blood. I'd never do her harm. And have you spoken to my daughter recently? Because she was always reading about all these different legal and justice systems. Ask, what is my crime? What is my crime? I've not been tried. I've not seen my day in court, and I'm being held. This is outrageous.
There is a courthouse currently under construction, and I assure you, you will get your chance. Unfortunately, it is still quite a bit of ways from being completed.
Oh, but Will, what is my crime? I mean, you're held to me. You must know what terrible thing I've done.
All right, this is where Ryan Williams, need to pause for a moment and ask a question. What is his crime again? Because I did vote against imprisoning him, and I'm not fully sure why we're doing it, other than he sucks, which is true. He sucks a lot.
So, from my standpoint, this guy is a merchant who has crushed many others under boot just to get what he wants. And we are now in the pathway of that, even if he says Wisteria is his blood. Not only that, this man is trying his best to get his claws back into the world, get his money again, and he's going to make waves if he gets out. So, from mine and Crash's point of view, he's dangerous.
Yeah, it's like normal merchant stuff, though.
I'll add to that, and Wisteria would not just go out and like say all this stuff, but if over the month, having some conversations with her and reading some of the stuff that she's written in the past, or that she like directs you to read rather than telling you herself, some of the things you would pick up on is that he was largely responsible for a lot of the Reaver raids on Mokulin, and was pretty involved in making it easier for the Reavers to do that because they, and that's like where he got a lot of his wealth from, is from the Reavers, and like working with them rather than stealing from them like we did. And she would never probably talk about it directly, but obviously like seeing the way she's reacted to his presence, you get the sense that there have been times where he's treated her pretty badly. But she would not go into specifics about that.
So he'll echo again. Held with no crime, no trial, no processing. What tin pot backwater dictatorship is this?
Well, unfortunately, it seems to be shaping out to be the normal kind. Now listen. Frankly, on a personal note, I agree with you. If it was up to me, you wouldn't be here. You'd be off, I don't know, probably in Kata or perhaps somewhere else. I don't even know. But if I may make a suggestion, perhaps you could put some effort into gaining the favor of the rest of the Gavels, the leadership, and if possible, Wisteria herself. See, a part of the reason I think that you are here is that you have left such a bad impression on everybody else that they feel you are a threat despite the fact that you have not done anything. You understand? And as a group of people who have had many attempted murders against us, we are quite wary when it comes to people who we believe might do us harm. Including our fear now of the Reavers, who, from what I understand, you have backed heavily in the past.
That's a strong word, but yes, you stole a lot of gold from them. They will be quite savage in the response. But you have nothing to fear from me. If you bring me a bondsman from Mokel, I'll sign a soul bond contract. I will not have you harmed. I will not have you attacked. As I said, she's the last of my blood. I'm not going to have her killed. Even that little mellow man, that violent thug you bring around with you, I won't have him harmed either.
Well, let me tell you, that is at least reassuring to hear. This will be an ongoing conversation, and trust me when I say Will says trying to be the good cop in this situation. I will be fighting on your behalf to get you released as quickly as possible. He lies. But like I said, for the time being, as there is a courthouse being constructed, and while the rest of the gavels find you very untrustworthy, you're gonna have to be patient for some time. And I think your conduct during this time could have a significant influence on the way things go for you in the future. It's just something to keep in mind.
You see, he kind of harumphs, and he goes, "Well, I appreciate your candor, Will, and I appreciate you kind of breaking it down for me that they do not like my personality and I'm here. But as I said, when you bring me charges and bring me proof and evidence in a court of law, I'm looking forward to my day in court, is all I'll say. And I offered, and I'll still leave it on the table. I do have a considerable sum of wealth in Mokel, and I'd be willing to invest in your newfound nation. Oh, but only if I am free.
I understand. And truly, honestly, we are, frankly, very interested in that. It's just a matter of the only thing stopping us from pursuing that avenue is time right now. We are, as you can imagine, very busy.
You see, he kind of just busy. Huh? All right. But you know what? Fine. I've dealt with the prisons of the Reavers, and this is far more accommodating at the very least. But no, my patience is not without bounds. If you want the money, eventually you will have to free me, and we'll have to come to terms. The longer I'm in captivity, the less I'll be willing to invest.
Makes perfect sense, my lord. So, like I said, please do your best to ingratiate yourselves to the rest of the gavels, particularly the senior officers. And I think you will find that your chance in court will be significantly better. But like I said, very busy. I have other things to attend to. In fact, directly related to that courthouse, so I must take my leave.
We'll send Beshnet or Boro whenever you get a moment, but thank you.
Happy to do so. Will tells Boro to come in like an hour.
Could I do a very small bit with Crash and him real fast? The Abe, we got prisoners.
Go for it.
So, kind of very shortly after Will came in there, Crash comes in and he's looking a little bit sour, like he's been pressed into going down here. And he comes up to Tomto, right? Tomino. Shoot. He comes up to Tomino and he's got a box, and he just looks at him and goes,
"Well, to put it blunt, the red shirts like you, the red shirts like me, and I see that we don't like each other. Personally, I think it's none of their business, but a couple of them I owe a favor. And because they like you, they scrap this all together for you. They seem to really like the card game, and I don't blame them. They got a rule set written for you, and they set up about 3 starter decks. Yeah, the gavel card game in full.
Like he reaches out for a moment, like, and you see like it's shaking, and he goes, "Can you open it for me?"
Crash actually looks at him and goes,
I thought of that as well. They patted me down before I came down with the box.
and he will open it.
Yeah, he will kind of hesitantly take the card game, and I imagine there's probably a card for Wisteria in there, right?
Oh, I feel like our like red shirts would be very like would love each of us in their own way, and not knowing the full story, but liking this guy and liking Wisteria would have built a Wisteria deck for him.
He will kind of look through and he goes, well done, that's an Abe likeness. You kind of see it like for a moment, like he's like someone speaking to himself. He goes, with your all's supposed fame and in some sense notoriety, we could make a healthy profit on this in the Mokulan markets with the right backers.
Crash would actually like absentmindedly nod to that and just go,
just remember, if it was up to me, I wouldn't be down here. But you still got some friends amongst us. For some reason. Just when you look at those cards with Wisteria, instead of thinking about what she can do for you once in your life, think about what you owe her.
Well, I provided her a life of wealth and education. She loves to study, and I've founded the finest schools to study within. I've done my duty as a pirate.
That sounds more like a transactional relationship, but none of my business. I had a shit father as well.
and Crash would turn and go to leave.
Perfect. Well, you guys are able to go about and spend kind of the month preparing kind of, or helping to build kind of these new key focal points of your newfound nation and start kind of develop and start making Asuvia into its own kind of entity as you go through and design these aspects. But one of the things that kind of breaks up your time spent within the island, one of the days, you hear a call out from the red shirts, one of the troops of soldiers that were kind of stationed to man the lighthouse. And you hear them bellow out, "Small boat sighted! Looks, is it? It looks like a canoe, a kayak. Small boat sighted! Small boat sighted!" And you hear horns blaring as the lighthouse crew alerts the rest of the gavels. What do you not do?
My first thought is to think like that's maybe a little bit of an overreaction for a single boat coming in, but I have to remember this is a world where like a single person can throw fireballs. So, you know, somebody must have a spyglass, right? Someone here has a spyglass. I'm sure a boat comes with a spyglass. I'm pretty sure, like it's in the contracts.
I'm surprised none of you bought one. They have Pathfinder spyglasses.
I don't have one in my inventory, but surely somewhere someone has one.
Well,
I still have more of the sighting shots that I can fire an arrow and see through, but I don't think I'll spend one of those for this.
I'm double checking. I'm pretty sure Crash has a scope he can attach to one of his longer range guns.
I have 4,000 gold. How much? Like it's one spyglass. How much could it possibly cost? 10 gold?
20.
I think they're actually really expensive. They're not like crazy expensive, but decently. Like,
They're 20 gold, or you can get a fine one for 80. That gives a +1 to perception checks.
But eventually, you guys are able to see as you kind of man the lighthouse or the shore, whatever viewpoint you're able to get. You see as it comes through, like the wood kind of has that same quality you saw from the Reaver ship, where it seemed like it was like almost a patchwork style. You see there are different kind of animal skins. Definitely seems like a seal kind of on across one side. They kind of near the bow that kind of help kind of cut through as well. And you see one lone Reaver sailing, kind of just paddling upon the ship. As you look out, you recognize this Reaver. He looks a lot worse for the wear. You could see from the distance, like there's blood kind of pouring from his face. You can see like cuts and marks, but from the distance, they don't really seem to make sense. But you see the shipmaster, the captain of the other ship. One of his eyes completely blacked over and bruised over as he is slowly paddling to shore. What do you all do?
Holy shit! Holy shit! The pamphlet works! We got one! We got one!
I think Will would try to get someone to take him out. Will's not going to row himself, but surely somebody has a small ship, like a lifeboat, perhaps we can use to sort of meet this person out at the sea, and probably have like 1 or 2 red shirts on this boat with him as he goes out to try to negotiate, and if necessary, do some spell nonsense. But I want to meet him out at sea.
You guys do have a shore boat with I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
No, we actually have like a thing in there too. It's a longboat. So you guys have like a legit longboat that you can take out if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Does anybody go with?
I'll come as well, but tell Will that I trust his way with words more than my own. Especially when Reavers are involved.
2 rowers and 2 others, maybe. I don't know how big this longboat is, but imagine it can fit some people on it. We're gonna do the Washington crossing the Delaware.
Oh yeah, it's fairly big. I think it can hold 10.
Okay, cool,
like
great.
10 passengers or 8 passengers. So you're able to go through, start rowing towards the ship or towards this canoe as you go through, and you see like he spots you and he starts to paddle towards you. He looks beat to hell. Like you see, like after he kind of sees and gets close enough and sees you guys are still coming to him, you see him drop the paddle and just kind of like lean back. But and luckily Wisteria is with you. So Will, you see like this markings curved. First across his face, then kind of like across his chest, and then like it almost looks like somebody used his body to write a note as he is paddling closer to you, or as you paddle closer to him. And it looks freshly carved because some of them are still weeping in spots. Wisteria, luckily you can read Orcish. You see at the top, to the Gavels. This failure has been sent to you due to his failure to protect what was mine. You have stolen what is mine. That will not be forgotten.
That's too many characters. He's
a broad guy with a big
yeah, I'm it's not that it's not believable, but that it's unpleasant.
It definitely looked like, and you'll see, and Wisteria, you'll see it by a towel at the end. But it definitely looks like he added, like he took his time with this. It was not short with words as he went through on that side. And you see as he continues, you have stolen from the Reavers. You have stolen from our people. Your mother pled. I will take your heads unless you return Tomino Abe and 5 infernal dragon turtles. if this is not done within a month's time, the rivers will flow like water across the lands of Kata, burning, pillaging, reaving. You have 1 month.
Where are we supposed to get 5 dragon turtle eggs? Damn it. What is this? Does this person, the guy here, have anything to say? All of that was from the note, right?
That was all from the note, yeah.
Oh, this guy.
It's too many texts, too many characters.
He looks exhausted. Like, you see, like, he hasn't spoken. Like, he is, as you get closer, you can still hear him huffing for breath. He's like trying, like, he can barely lift his arms. But he does kind of look up at you and go, Tawa said I'd have to deliver message. Tawa said, play ball. And then Wisteria, you see he looks at you, and you notice a few things happen kind of fairly quickly. You see his eyes begin to glow as he looks at you, and you see like his voice takes on almost a different hue, a wizened but lighter and definitely feminine kind of lilt to his voice comes in. And you see his eyes kind of glow and glaze over as like he sees you on that side, and you hear this kind of wizened voice comes out, and she goes, Asteria, you have Reaver blood. That is bold of you to steal from Tower. And on one side, I commend it. You played the blood price. But my dear, you're my last surviving child after your brother's disaster. Tower will take your head. I have bought you time. Give him your father. He's worthless. And give him the dragon. Find the Inferno dragon turtle eggs. You lot seem quite capable in taking what belongs to others. Do so and keep your head. And then you see kind of like he shakes and the light fades from his eyes.
What does it mean, last remaining child?
Yeah, so the last that I heard about my brother is that he went to Messia to compete in the Great Clash, I think.
And you guys did hear that all the contestants of the Great Clash, along with Squad 7, were caught in an explosion and either died or vanished.
Okay. I didn't put that together, but Wisteria would have. Yeah, I think she would kind of like go to try to respond to her mother before realizing that the spell doesn't work that way. I just kind of turn to Will and say, yeah, Crash thought this was a potential convert, but I knew better. This is what I was afraid of.
Well, we might as well just get him on land. Hold on. I'm going to cast a low-level healing spell on him and just pull him onto our boat and get this fella to the hospital that's not finished being built yet.
You could definitely cast heal on him, but you see he goes, yeah, we fight to end life. I no longer have value. We fight. And then he speaks in Orcish to Wisteria as he finally kind of sees you there after kind of getting that domination. He goes, let me end my life with a blade. No longer have a place with the Reavers. I will not live as a failure. We fight. One of us end, and then I keep fighting until I make my end.
Would you fight for the gavel? Earn back what you've lost? Or are you so weak as to even run away from that opportunity?
Give me your choice of diplomacy or intimidation.
Well, it's not going to be intimidation. Diplomacy is mediocre, but I am a monstrous peacemaker. I'll use a hero point.
Can I, before you re-roll that, can I aid in this in some way?
Yeah, how are you going to do so?
Will, after hearing Wisteria say that, he's just going to be like, he doesn't speak Orcish, so he's just going to have to respond in the common tongue and hope this guy can understand at least part of it. He says, "It seems a war of your stature would be an awful waste to just throw away, don't you think? Why not let that strength be used for something else? Something different."
All right, give me a diplomacy check. It can add the result onto as an aid check to Wisteria. Are you going to re-roll with the hero point?
Yeah, I will.
All right, I'll take a +2 bonus.
Still not great.
You see, he shakes his head. And he goes back to speaking in common. "I, Reaver, I die under Tower flag. They no longer want me, but I still die under his flag. If you not fight me, I take care of it myself."
Bull kind of rolls his eyes. Somebody, all this. Will sort of just like says an aside to Wisteria. All this honor nonsense is always so frustrating to me.
I know.
Well, we can't just. I suppose we can. I just tell this guy to just walk into the sea, but it feels wrong. If we were fighting this fellow, perhaps intending to kill this fella, it feels different now. You know what I mean?
Wisteria pulls out one of her daggers, but just kind of holds it in her hands and says to Will, "You know, this is what I've been trying to change, but more and more it just seems impossible."
Yeah. Seems like an uphill battle for sure. Yeah. As much as I hate it, that's what if you're comfortable with this thing, then I suppose we can make it an official duel, perhaps, on land, not right here in the damn canoe. Oh, I know.
You're cutting out a bit?
At the very least, if you feel, if we must, and you feel comfortable with this, we can make it a duel on land, not in this damn longboat while the man's exhausted. At least let's get on land and do something proper, you know?
See, nice. We can fight on land. That seems fair.
Nothing feels proper about this, Will.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I can sort of make him not want to do this, but it doesn't last very long. Maybe if I wanted to be nicer for a good maybe 10 minutes, but that's, what's that going to do? Sorry, it's an hour. But like, what? I can come back and keep doing this every hour. You know what I mean? Maybe I could buy some more time for you to convince him, but I don't know how much that's going to work.
It has been a while, but you guys would know that the shipmaster, Buana, was also an occult caster as well.
Uh-huh.
What do you all do? Yeah.
Tell us what Tomono did for the Reavers and why Venick wants him, and you'll get your duel.
Give me a diplomacy check here. This will be a hard one, but give me a diplomacy check.
It's either that, or I just tell you to walk into the sea, and you'll do it. Damn.
Are you keeping it?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to the dice this time. They're trying to tell me that this isn't working. So I'll leave it.
Shake his head. I betrayed Tower once. I lost the future of our people. I don't betray him again. We're supposed to sail beyond the seas, sail beyond the realms, and you take that from us. No.
We have an awkward 5-minute ride back to the shore.
Once we get to the shore, I'll tell some of the red shirts to like keep an eye on him, and I want to talk to the rest of the gavel away from the shipmaster.
Yeah, he once he gets to shore, like he is, even with like real skill, he is exhausted. Like you'd guess he's rowed probably for more than a day or so. He's had to get himself here. You see, he kind of sits aboard land, still trying to catch his breath, but he kind of sits and allows the red shirt to surround him. He's still clutching his blade, but outside of that,
I mean, if we wanted to just arrest him and try to take another chance at convincing him later, we could. Certainly isn't in any position to argue otherwise right now.
I mean, we already have one prisoner who's being held for processing for an indeterminate amount of time.
Yeah, but at least this one we don't have to keep forever. You know what I mean? We can try to convince him one more time, maybe give him a couple of days to think about it. What do you think? Like we've both expressed. Very frustrating. Feels like an uphill battle.
One thing, he is a spellcaster. I'll add. He did try and dominate Crash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this guy might be too strong to keep imprisoned, y'all.
Yeah.
We can't convince him to not. So...
You know what? I'm tired of all this shit. You know what? Maybe this is my moment to show these people what this means. All right? I'm tired of this shit. I'll do it.
Thank you.
All right. I think Will would probably go back over to... Very well. I will accept your duel.
Good. You can see she unsheaths his blade, stands. Where your blade?
I don't use blades. I don't think Will would have his staff on him. But he might, because he's just been doing, building work and stuff recently. He doesn't carry it all at all times. He's like, trust me, I got other ways. And I think he just casts light just to show him, like, I want to show. I think Will's going to take this opportunity to turn this into a spectacle. Will's going to, there are several red shirts around and probably other people. It's like, this Reaver of Tower wishes to show his honor by engaging in an honorable duel because he would rather die than, do anything else, it seems. I would like to take this opportunity for everyone around you to understand what that means and show my personal disdain for this kind of thought process. I want every single one of you who are a gavel of Eva Sarah to know that dying an honorable death is a pointless waste of a life. even as Gavels of Eva Sarah, I want you to live. All right? So if that means running away, if that means engaging in a dishonorable way of fighting, I want you to do it. Because I want you all to understand that I respect you as living people. Let the gods maybe decide your fate after. But right now, right here, this is what we've got to deal with. This fella's trying to throw it all away for nothing. So, raise your blade. We're doing it right now. And I imagine that doesn't go very well.
He doesn't even look angry. He looks tired.
And imagine his difficulty with the common tongue probably means that he only understood about half of it anyway.
Thought so. But he is going to raise his blade. We're going to take our break because we're going to get into using some of the Pathfinder duel rules on your side. I did not expect Will to be the one to take up the challenge. So we'll see how this shakes up as Shipmaster Bawana kind of raises his blade. You see, like, not satisfied. He looks determined, and you see almost like he looks like he's a strange sense of peace crosses his mind as he kind of lifts his blade and his hand begins to spark. So we'll take a quick 5-minute break, come back 8:43 or 8:53, and we'll get in the second half of the adventure. Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of session 8 of Pandemonium. The Gavels have spent time rebuilding or building new sections for Suvia, but then saw a lone sailor or lone paddler in the distance. Found that the Reavers of Tawa had sent a message indicating that the Gavels needed to return the Tomino Abe that they stole, as well as provide them with 5 Infernal Dragon Turtle eggs. And then the Gavels, after hearing the message, the Shipmaster Bawana asked them to kind of fight him and allow him to end his life with a blade in hand. And Will took up the call and agreed to duel him, assembling the Gavels troops to make his point. And that is where we're going to pick up as well. I mentioned before jumping offline that we were going to use the Pathfinder 2E rules, and I made a little bit of a shift on that side because that's what is to flow a different, more narrative kind of style for that versus a full-on combat. Because Shipmaster Bawana had a decent bit of health, and then we would have taken a decent chunk of this remaining section. So the way we were going to do this is it's going to be utilizing dueling rules that I worked on a little bit with Star Wars 5e. Changing a little bit for the Pathfinder 2e system. So you'll have 3 different actions that you can take during kind of this combat piece of it. You'll be able to attack, defend, feint, and while it says attack, you can still utilize your magic because for those using physical attacks, they can utilize athletics or acrobatics as their skill. For those utilizing magic, you'll be able to utilize any of the 4 traditions: nature, religion, occultism, forgetting arcana. As kind of your role there and flavor the spells that you're casting on that side. The way that we are going to play for this is 3 losses either way, or 3 wins or 3 losses that will end the duel. I imagine the other Gavels of Asara are around you. I'll allow them to decide how, if fortunate things take a turn for the worst, if they intervene or if they let Will perish. But on 3, things will happen.
Sorry, was it 3 total, or is it like
3 wins or losses. Yeah.
So first to 3 wins then?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right. Any other questions before we go?
I want to establish something for what Crash is doing during all this. I'd like to establish he's getting his ass handed to him in the Gavels card game down in the brig.
He didn't come when I heard the call for a sighting on the boat?
I think he would have, but when he saw it was a Reaver coming in, he would have been like, he would have actually believed like Wisteria's pamphlet worked and would have just left that by itself. He would not have realized, oh yeah, a duel's about to go on. So right now, he is having a little bit of the best way I can put it is a little bit of a gamer rage moment as he is losing match after match against Wisteria's father.
You see, like, Tomino is having fun at this. Like, he's still a little bit apprehensive about you, especially as you start to rage out. He still thinks you're unstable, but he'll kind of like go through. It's like, well, you're one of the creators. You've read the rules, right? I mean, what you know? What it is fine. It's fine. Another hand, right?
I'm not
Another
one
game.
of the creators. I came here after. It's just you put together an Abe deck. You meta playing bastard.
Well, I have nothing but free time. But cutting away from there, we see on the sandy shores of the newfound Vesuvia, the troops, the red shirts, the Gavel's leadership, the B squad, all kind of surrounding as this duel commences. Hearing Will's words, you see the shipmaster Buwana, he kind of, like, not even a flourish, but just kind of with one swift motion, unsheathes his sword. You see kind of that set determination, almost that look of just pure acceptance kind of cross his eyes. And he does give you a nod and a small thank you to Will as he kind of sets into a stance.
All right. Let's get this over with.
And so the rules for this, and you can either attack, defend, or feint. We went through the skill rules for those as well. There's kind of almost a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors thing. But the nice thing is, even if you do lose the rock, paper, scissors piece, the highest roll is the one that kind of scores or wins on that side. So to keep it easy on that side, whose thread? Callie, I'm going to use your personal thread. This one, I'm going to post in there what I am going to do. And then, Will, you can call it out. And then we'll see how the rolls go for it. I can't remember if I said this or not, but you either get a +3 or -3 circumstance bonus, depending on how you rolled up on the rock, paper, scissors of it. And just go through the rock, paper, scissors. If you attacked and somebody fainted, you'll get a +3. You'll get a -3 if they defended. And you can kind of see the rock, paper, scissors from there. Before we get going, any other questions?
Which one did you pick?
I haven't picked yet, but with that, does Will have anything else he is saying before?
I think he's going to be speaking as we go through the duel.
So you see he unsheathes his blade. You see magic sparking from his fingertips, and he lunges forward. Will, how do you respond?
I think Will, knowing this is a Reaver and just this guy's general vibe, I think he would just assume this guy would start just on the offensive. So I think Will would defend at the beginning, just trying to assess. Now, if you are this depends now on whether you are going to try to use that against me, like, or if you're playing him like, I don't know what he would do. So yeah, let's find out. I'm going to choose defend.
He did faint.
Well, he fainted.
So you see he kind of like almost acrobatically tries to spin in and out as he jabs his like machete-like blade forward, trying to nick you as he goes through. He's going to use his first roll with acrobatics, and he shit the bed there. Oh, he gets a +3 to that. I forgot that. That's a 25.
All right. Once again, I've forgotten which key it is. There it is. Cool. So, 1 second. There we go. Holy shit.
Nice. So Will, what do you do as you kind of see him trying to feint in and out, like he kind of almost tumbles through and tries to nick you with the machete? How do you respond?
Even when the Reaver does something that Will doesn't expect, he's just too exhausted for it to matter. I think he probably if at his full power, this absolutely would have worked. But Will is able to see it coming, and Will is has a few all his magical stuff. I think he's just like completely just deflects it with like a golden light just comes up to protect him, like a slightly immaterial shield.
Nice.
And after that happens, Will just is not even talking to this guy, just talking to anyone who's nearby, and says, "Again, I repeat, throwing your life away for nothing. I don't want any of you gavels doing this, even for us. Fight for yourselves, fight for the gavels, fight for a cause you believe in. Do not throw your life away for honor."
You see he growls out, and then you start to see energy, like this purple flame, begin sparking across his body as he begins. What do you do, Will?
You know what? I'm going to defend again. I'm doing the rock every time strategy.
You see he attacks this time as these flames begin to spark out. You see his eyes begin to glow. You hear that same drum beat that you heard during the siege aboard his ship as you start to see these lines of magic start to envelop you. All right, give me a roll. Nice.
That bonus made a difference.
You see kind of the magic swirling through around him, but how do you counter that?
I think Will just like as he sees this him charging, Will just like casts a bright flashing light directly in his eyes as he's coming, and so is able he can't see, and then Will is just able to easily step out of the way. Will's hoping to just outlast this man and continue monologuing. Will is going to say again, "I want you to watch what's about to happen." And before the next round of fighting.
You see this time the flames fade, and just with ragged desperation, he slashes high, low, and just like you see him unleash with this flurry of sword swipes, just swinging with reckless abandon as he attacks. How do you respond, Will?
I feel like I'm being baited, but I think I'm going to defend again. Rock every time. You can't lose.
Perfect. He is attacking, so -3 on that.
Sorry, -3 for him.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice. You see he goes through reckless swinging, slashing. How do you topple him?
He is just absolutely going nuts, just coming straight at Will, and Will just completely just calm. Sees he dodges out of the way. I think he summons his wings at this moment and just like flaps up out of this guy's range. and just lets it's like hovering in the air, maybe 10 feet above him. As this guy has spells that he could probably reach me with, depending if he's used them all just surviving to get here. But the guy is not thinking, just slashing wildly. Will is just floating like in circles, like backing up away from him until eventually he just exhausts himself and falls over. And then Will is just going to land behind him and just put a glowing hand right above his back as he just like lays on the ground. And then the Reaver sort of rolls over, completely exhausted, and Wills just looks down at him, and then looks at the crowd and says, "I want you to tell me what honor bought this man." And then I'm gonna cast one of my particularly nastier spells and just blow a hole in his chest.
Nice. You see, like, as he looks up at you, just pure like acceptance. Like he looks slightly relieved as he goes through, and you see like no smile, but you just like that just pure look of acceptance as your hand begins to glow, and its eventual death comes. You hear a hush fall over the other gavels. Will, what do you do?
I expect to meet that man in hell the same way. Well, it didn't make a difference that this man threw his life away and I tried to live. That's what I want you to walk away from here remembering. All of you, all right? Now, that does not mean act with no goodness or kindness in your heart. But honor is not something that I ever want to hear anybody dying for. Understand? We will respect you if you do what is right, not what is honorable. Dismissed. All of you get back to work. Somebody help me get rid of this thing. And he points at the body.
You hear kind of understood, like more of a somber tone, no clapping, no cheering, but you hear a lot of understood and kind of head nods as they start to go back to their work. And two of the red shirts go and find a way to dispose of the body.
I got big Neo Tri-Beam vibes of TN versus Cell for that last hit. Part of me imagines this guy didn't just get the hole blown in his chest, he got cratered.
Once it's over, Wisteria will walk up to Will and just kind of... She seems pretty sad about the whole situation, just saying, I mean, this is the evil of Tawa. The way that he brainwashes these people into thinking that he deserves even their own lives. It's horrific.
Understood. I think you would, with your insanely high perception, you would see, and I think actually most people would see, it's not hard to see, Will's hands are shaking. Like he seemed calm and in control the whole time, but he's like breathing a little heavy, like clearly like trying to control his breathing. His hands are shaking. He looks angry.
Wisteria will like put an arm on his, or put a hand on his arm and say, we have to keep fighting against this kind of ideology. People deserve to be free and live the way that gives the world what they are, and not some ideal that someone else imposes on them.
It's a whole damn mess, all of it. Will, I think, would say, in addition, like looking at Wisteria this time, before he's been kind of just looking at the ground, at the spot where the Reaver used to be, and just say, "This is what all the gods want for us, isn't it? It's always fighting for something else, something where maybe you'll get a reward somewhere else. More often than not, it just ends up in the same place, I imagine."
Not all the gods, no. I mean, it's a blessing that there's so many of them that we can find one whose ideals align with us, as long as the gods are existing in harmony with each other.
I don't know if harmony is the right word for it.
Harmony is what we need to achieve.
All right.
Forsaking all gods is just another ideology that will lead people down this route, and she gestures towards where the Reaver once was.
Once again, he's just like controlling his breathing, just getting back to being calm again. All right, I'm starving. I'm gonna get something to eat. Will, and I think Will is gonna go find some time to be alone for a bit. He hated that.
Definitely fair. Well, what do the rest of the gavels do?
I imagine the word would spread pretty quickly about it.
Yeah, took a while for Callistovaria to get word of that. She was deep in like some of the construction conversations. So by the time she makes it out, it's already done, and she's feeling disappointed in herself that she wasn't here when clearly something big happened that probably both Wisteria and Will would have had strong reactions to. So that evening, she will try and have a meal with all of the gavels together and subtly try to like poke and prod and figure out what happened. How are people feeling about it? So just over the course of the meal, what exactly what happened? How did that go?
The damn fool wanted to throw his life away because he thought it was the honorable thing to do.
And I offered him a place with us, a place to rebuild some semblance of using his capabilities for another goal, but Tao has gotten to him like so many of the other Reavers, making them think there's no other option besides blind worship.
Yeah,
Crash would pipe up and go,
In truth, I wasn't there at all. Merely enjoying, well, not enjoying. Wisteria, I hate your father. That said, I heard from the red shirts and Smith daughter. She was terrified, honestly. One of the ones to take away the corpse. I don't really know how to console our men, whether master or not. They need guidance and are figuring things out.
You make a good point. I'm going to make a moment to talk to him. You're right. I'm trying to make a point, but I need to take a moment, find some time to speak to one or both of them. Smith, the daughter you said it was? I found out her first
Smith
name.
daughter. Yes.
It's just, I think this is like when the moment, like when Will's sort of frustration just boils over and he's kind of he's like just been munching on like a potato or something, just kind of like tosses it back on plate. It's such a damn waste. And I'm sorry, I've just seen too much stuff like that. All these traditions and honor and all this stuff. These all just different kinds of shackles that we're all wearing, and it makes me worry. Like what shackles am I wearing that I don't even know about?
I mean, that's what's so beautiful about this place, right? This is a brand new city. All the people, very few, if any, of the people who come to live here will have been here from before the Giants invasion, and we have an opportunity to create something new, free of any kind of shackles. And it'll take time, it'll take work, it'll take money, but the world will come to recognize Asuvia as a place where those who are tired of their shackles can come to be themselves.
I certainly hope so.
Well, we you and I are a lot alike. More than
And Crash would pause for a moment at the look and just put up his hands for a second.
more than just the surface level. We both bear the heavy burden of a legacy. These scars on us. Yours is active, preaching in your mind at all times. Mine might as well be whenever I look down at what's left of me and what's been replaced. That said, Hysteria is right. Here, we can do so much more than what was intended by us by our ancestors, by those who forged us, who made us what we are. We can make ourselves truly. And I won't judge you for what you've done today, because there wasn't a win in sight with that situation. But I just ask, the person you decide to be, make sure it's one you are proud to be.
Just got a few people I'm worried about throwing their lives away. Just kind of glances at all the rest of you and then also leaves it unsaid that he's also talking about less.
Oh, go ahead.
Crash misinterprets that and just goes,
We all miss Jeet, but his sacrifice, it means something. And we lost a lot of good men that day who died fighting for land and home and honor and gold. For something. I lost a good bit of honor long ago. I found a different path now with the Gavels and someone else. I don't think it's all for nothing, but I do think you have a point.
I think I don't think Agnajit died for honor. At least that's not how I see it. Agnajit died for you and for us. That is something worth dying for. But, maybe his honor is what made him do it. I don't know. I hate all of it. Hate it all. It's fine. I'm trying to enjoy this lovely potato soup.
Callista. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No,
No.
you go ahead.
I was going to change the topic, but if you have more to say, go ahead.
Callista Varia is looking oddly not well composed. I mean, I would say she's like staring into her soup, but she's not drinking the soup. Well, I guess she is. She has like maybe some fingers stuck in it, and then using the suction of I forgot plant biology, but draining the soups. She says, I do not begrudge them the meaning that they get and the connections. I left Aurea. I chose a different path. Well, more accurate to say I chose a different path and I was made to leave Aurea. And the freedom that it bought me, it has a lightness to it. There's a lack there. There's something missing that wasn't when I was with my people, when I felt a strong sense of belonging. And that feeling was, yes, shattered before I did what I had to do, when I thought that nobody else cared. But for the ones that have these beliefs, and for the groups that it keeps them together, I don't. She looks around, and then I think that's where she reads the room, and she realizes that this is maybe not the crowd to be making this point with. So she will like slightly change tack, and she'll say, but basically, there's going to be people who strongly believe, and these are probably going to be the soldiers that are sent to the front line because they're willing to give up their lives for the cause. So I suppose if you really want to find a way to push past that and get to the part of the society that is malleable or just open to change, it will not be the one that is sent out for missions, right? It would be within the heartland, and there the question is, who are the outcasts? Who are the ones that are wanting to take actions that could exile them? And those are the ones we could try and convince or show a new path, but not the ones who are out there fighting, I suppose. Just a thought.
How do we reach those so deep within the clutches of our enemies?
Well, we could offer to do a trade or a negotiation. No. But I'm sure we don't want to give up anything they are asking for. Do we? And she's like looking around at the table.
If you're trying to bring up the topic of trading my father, I guess that relates to something else we should discuss, which is the warning that the shipmaster brought us. Tawa is going to send the Reavers, as he said, crawling over Kata in a month. If we don't return Tomono as well as 5 dragon turtle eggs that we've already spent a good chunk of the funding that was intended to be traded for. So those frontline soldiers you talked about are going to be here soon. We need to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it. Hopefully we get enough done in a month to be prepared. We might have to ask for the backing of Kata on this.
Well, how about we try a halfway approach? We give them some of what they want, or a combination of something they want and something that they could use, and ask for a resolution via duel.
It's interesting. As I was just dueling a very exhausted man, I suspect whoever they send next time will be quite capable. And I think we are best as a team. You understand?
Yes, it
I'm concerned about the results of such a duel.
It could even be a melee, then, like a group that they choose their champions versus all us.
Certainly save lives that way, hopefully.
Yes, but we would still have to give them at least one thing that they want. Maybe we can find a dragon turtle egg somewhere if we don't want to consider other options.
Crash will
Right.
pipe up and just say,
If we find a dragon to the leg, I say we keep it. Giving it to the Reavers is just reinforcing them. Taking what will be our legacy and giving them a harder fight.
Right.
We have to
It-
deal with them eventually, and they've already sacked one of our allies.
Yeah. It's. I mean, ideally, we wouldn't be giving it to them because we win. It's just sort of incentive for them to agree to it. You know what I mean? But who knows if they'd actually agree to that? They seemed like the destroy everything kind of people. It's worth finding out.
Yes. Well, yes, and we, as much as we are set up against a naval invasion, the Reavers are very good at the naval invading part. So I feel that should we want to continue our leadership of this city, that we are bound to this geographically, this location, until this threat is sufficiently diffused. It does not have to be fully neutralized, but even a little bit pacified.
As always, you are right.
Her eyebrows go up. She's like pleased and then slightly displeased and then ignores it. Is there do we have anyone, she like get everyone closer, do we have anyone within the Gavels, excluding Wisteria, who could potentially infiltrate the Reavers and find out if they have any internal tensions, if they have any dissatisfied factions, anything we could stoke to get their attention away from the looting and the reaving?
Unfortunately, I think Wisteria is the only one that could be suited for that job.
I mean, the other thing that came up was my mother mentioned she did her best to buy us some time. It's been even longer that I've had much of a conversation with her than my father, but my understanding is that she is a priestess of Tawa and is as devoted to his goals as much as any of them. But in that position of power, her own interests have some sway with him, one of them being my well-being. That's a potential conflict we could try to exacerbate, but I think if push comes to shove, she would choose him over me.
And this is someone who has risked at least a little bit of their reputation for your well-being, so I would not want any harm to come to her. How about we try and find out if there are any orcish spies, the talented folks, will amongst the organization that you keep sometimes hinting at, if there's anyone we could recruit or hire to
I can ask
find
around.
out.
In fact, I'm almost certain that such a person exists. It's a matter of can they get here in time is the question. But I'll ask around for sure.
Okay, well, we have some amount of money we can throw at this problem as well. So let's get the wheels working. Let's figure out how we can get out of having to defend Esuvia from a siege and do a second rebuilding.
We just started, damn it.
I'm sorry I've brought this problem on us, but
You
thank
didn't
you
bring
for
anything on us. Don't we? Look at us. We are so good at getting ourselves into exactly this scenario. We have done it many times, and we're probably going to continue to do it. It's because we're just too damn good at our jobs. And
Yeah.
also bad in some other ways.
Callisto Maria will laugh and she'll say, if we were truly cunning, we would have taken all of that gold, hidden away in the forest until the Reavers had ravished all of Kata, and then started rebuilding.
Next time.
Next time, yes.
So if we were to try to, I think the infiltration plan is plan A. If the dual melee is plan B, I pull out a dagger. Who do you think has a broad enough chest for me to write a message that Tao would be similarly impressed? Any ideas?
Oh, wait. I guess that means we have to choose one of the gavels.
I mean, are you hinting at Tomino? Is like Tomino was he starved? Is he like too starved to write a large ass letter on right now, or is he back to being plump with all the mochi he's eating?
I'm concerned about his ability to row over there.
Yeah, he would definitely not make it far.
Also, they stay moving, so like it's not going to be easy to find. Like we are living in a definite known place that you can row to. What are they? He's going to row out in the ocean, hope they find him.
Well, they do have a presence at or Reaver City, as they call it now. Yeah, usually they are very mobile.
Actually, we're like a stone's throw away from Reaver's Grove, map-wise, because we can just go up, and like they are right next to Hana.
Oh yeah, I always forget this is the globe.
That
So
is a spear.
it loops around to the other side.
So we're technically, Facia's kind of pinned by them. I just realized that.
It's
Oh,
fine, probably.
Perfect. Is there anything else you all want to do in this thing?
The rest of the soup.
You all are able. Oh, go ahead.
I shouldn't play hungry.
You all are able to get a good night's sleep, but kind of awoken in a similar manner to the earlier this morning. But this time, rather than shouting a ship, they're shouting debris. As you kind of hear the same horns blare, the same kind of same commotion as everybody's a little bit on guard after that last ship came through. But this time it's shouting debris as you see the sun starting to creep up. Then dawn approaches as you all reach the beach. And it looks like boards, pieces of a ship. But to each like section of board, you see pinned a letter. Some of the letters look like they've been washed by the sea, but some seem to have stayed fairly dry. The good or the annoying part of the letter, first half, same wording as what was on Shipmaster Bawana's body. Return the dragon turtle. Return the Tomino. Give the dragon turtle eggs. Reavers will wash across the shore. Same message. Could have been done without Bawana. The second part you guys are able to notice is this looks like pieces of the ship that you guys rated as well. And you see the second half of that letter. You see it scribbled in probably 100 different hands as you look through and see these different pieces of wreckage kind of washing up across the shore. All the same message, but it looks like numerous different people have scribed it. And it goes, the first part saying, return the dragon, or return Tomino, return the dragon to her legs. The second part goes, you name yourself stronger than I. You name yourself above Tower. You say your might rivals mine. To challenge you alone would be a waste, a pittance. I challenge the gavels. Bring your armies, bring your A squads, your B squads, your C through Z squads. Bring your full might. I'll duel you alone. I am Tower, and blood reigns where I fall. And you see that written 100 different times. It's bolted to different pieces of wood as it washes up ashore, with him sending two messages, or a few different messages. One, he does not value the ship that failed to deliver his cargo to where it should go. Two, he values Bowana's life even less because he could have done this from the start. And three, you could meet him in combat.
Well, I suppose this saves Kata some trouble.
So, Will, are you still in touch with Les?
Unfortunately, no. She is off in the Fey realm again, as far as I understand. Means I can't contact her. I can try again.
So no access to a god-killing weapon then. Got it.
Well, Tao's no longer a god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. What level do we think he is?
If you guys do it for them, it would be an extreme fight. You'll be able to bring your troops and try to find some bonuses, but he is going to be at least 5 levels higher than you. And that's with some of those bonuses.
Crash looks at all this, nods to himself, and just goes,
Yeah. I can see it. I can see us killing an ex-god. The man is overdue to meet Thana, anyways.
I mean, it's either this or a prolonged siege, where basically the same thing's going to happen anyway, almost certainly.
Do we take over the Reavers if we kill him? Or would they simply be scattered factions all vying for power and who takes over after?
I mean, honestly, maybe both, but we'll see.
Wisteria, are you ready to be Czar of the Reavers?
As much as I would love to see Reavers without Tawa in charge,